Hey, Unbound ones, how are you doing? I wanted to come on today and speak to something that I talk about a lot. I talk about it a lot in my writing, certainly in the book Unbound. I talk about it in a lot of my posts that I create on social media, and when I'm emailing my community. It's something that very often comes up, and it is the fact that the old ways of doing things, these old ways of being, are falling away, are dissolving. And I very much believe that, you as somebody within my community, are one of the beings who is here to create new ways of doing things, new ways of being, new ways of kind of operating and existing on this planet. And that can feel a bit overwhelming, to be honest. How do we do that? So I wanted to speak a little bit more to this, because it's something that is coming up. It's coming up more and more. It's coming up for me, like, really consistently. It's, on a week by week basis now. I notice this coming up, and it's also coming up for my clients, both clients that I'm working with one to one, and also within the different online communities that I run, the Unbound Writing Mastermind and the Unbound Collective. In both of those spaces, and with my one to one clients and with myself personally, what I'm noticing is, as the old ways are dissolving. And what I mean by the old ways, kind of the old patriarchal systems and structures, that are set, they are still in place, but they are beginning to dissolve and to crumble. And the way we've been taught to do things, often as we've been growing up and throughout this lifetime, things that we have to do, we have to take action in this really kind of linear, step by step way. That's how we create results. You have to kind of really make things happen. You have to kind of put all of this work and effort into things to see results, and you have to do that in a very specific way. That there are certain systems that you have to operate under, and you have to be a certain way in the world. Okay, particularly as a woman, we're kind of taught that we have, to be the good girl and to present ourselves in this particular way. So we've been brought up with all of this stuff, and it is beginning to, certainly it is falling away now. And we're beginning to kind of, as a planet, to evolve to a new level of consciousness. So what do we do with that? Because as these old things are falling away, and what I'm seeing, personally with my clients, is when we're trying to do things in those old ways, because that's kind of the frame of reference that we have, and it can feel really comforting to think, I know that if I do this and this and this, I will get that result. So comforting. But more and more now, if not always, it is not the case. The way you've been taught to do things, like, even if something worked for you within the past year or the past 6 months even, and you're coming back and trying to do it in that way, what I'm seeing is just not, it's not working. And even kind of information and content and systems that have been given to us by amazing teachers, it's not working in the same way that it was, if at all. So we're in this kind of really uncomfortable space where it's like, well, what the fuck do I do? How can I create anything? How can I create any sort of results when I'm in this kind of liminal in between space where it feels like I can't impact what's going on around me, or I certainly can't do it in the same ways that I used to. And it really is a case of, like, stripping back to our truest essence, allowing ourselves to really fully be in our experience, and to access our boundlessness, that limitless possibility, potentiality that we have within us. What we're being asked to do is to strip away that anything that isn't aligned with that. But it's really hard because there is a part of us that really wants the comfort of limitation, of restriction in a way, wants to just know how to make things happen in this step-by-step way. And it can feel really deeply uncomfortable to think, oh my goodness, I have to start operating from this place of boundlessness, of limitlessness. I have to allow myself to fully be. That can be really challenging. And, it's what I'm seeing in a lot of my clients at the moment, this discomfort as we're kind of moving from this place where there was, although mostly an illusion, but there was this sense of more certainty, into a place where, yes, there is a lot of uncertainty, but that uncertainty is balanced out by this really exciting possibility of limitless potential. But we're not used to it. We keep kind of wanting to go back to like the old ways of doing things, and we want someone to tell us what to do. And it can feel really tiring and confusing to be in this place where it feels like the new ways are not actually there for us yet, although they are. When you connect with your unbound self, the really core of who you are, your true essence, she knows. She knows exactly what to do. And often it is about not doing, but that feels really uncomfortable. And this is something that's come up in my work time and time again over the years, like when we really strip back and do like the bare essentials, when we focus, and this is something that I've been working with like, over the summer, and certainly coming into the new season. It's like this mantra, this affirmation: I am only available to magic. And when we only make ourselves available to magic, when we only operate from a place of magic, we really do not have to be doing very much at all. Okay, not in the traditional sense. All of the focus comes on to you being your most magical self, but that feels completely alien because it's not what we've been taught. It's not what we've been taught at all. So, this is something I wanted to talk about it briefly today, and I will most likely be speaking about this more, but I just want to let you know that if you are feeling in this place of kind of discomfort and challenge and confusion and frustration, and it's almost like you just want somebody to tell you what to do, you want to cling on to something, to some knowing, to some certainty. I completely get that. And it's something that comes up for me as well. And you're not alone. Like everybody I know, all the women in my community, like friends, other women who run their own businesses, are all experiencing very similar things at the moment. And it is part of this evolution, this kind of up leveling that we're experiencing, this awakening. But I know it's uncomfortable. And if you can focus on that kind of letting go of anything that isn't aligned with your unbound, your limitless self, the true essence of who you are, really stripping back any of that crap that you've been taught about yourself or how you should operate in the world, and really keep coming back to, okay, what feels most magical for me? Who am I when I'm completely in my magic? Okay, if you ask yourself those questions and keep coming back to that, and yet you will go off path, and that's okay. Be really forgiving and compassionate with yourself. At times I certainly find myself going, oh, somebody tell me what to do, I'm just looking for the answers. And then I remind myself, I know I have the answers, I know, and you know too. So keep coming back to yourself, to your deep inner knowing, to your unbound self. If you want to do that, I'll post the link to the Meeting Your Unbound Self visualization below this video, so that you can access that, because that just helps to keep you anchored to this part of you, this deeply knowing part of you that is always operating from magic. Okay, my love. So if you've got any questions about this, or you want to join the conversation around this, if you just want to say, yeah, I've been feeling like this too, and just to be heard and be fully expressed around that, then please do comment below this video, and I'll see you again soon.